Hello, namaste, and thank you so much for joining me for this forest foundation flow. I would love for you to take a seat on your mat and start to close your eyes, land here, and focus on your breath. Taking a nice deep inhale and feeling the belly expand, and then exhale. Release anything that is no longer serving you. Take another nice deep breath here. And exhale. Enjoy the release of the exhale as much as you enjoy the new fresh oxygen. Take another inhale. And exhale. Softly start to blink your eyes open here, maybe taking a couple of shoulder rolls. We're going to get into our upper body flow to begin with. So as you inhale, reaching the arms out and up, exhale, drawing the hands down to your heart center. Inhale, expanding, reaching out before you exhale, pushing energy down to the earth. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, expand. And exhale, pushing the energy down. Let's do that again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, expand, reaching out. And exhale, pushing that energy down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, expanding and reaching out. And exhale, pushing that energy down. Taking a nice stretch in the neck, just take your gaze down to the mat, feeling that stretch in the upper back. And then taking your gaze up to the sky, just moving really slowly in the neck here. Maybe doing some side to side movement, just really slowly. We don't want to do any fast or crunching movements in the neck. And then taking your left hand over to the right knee, make sure that your spine is nice and straight. So maybe taking an inhale to just extend, make sure that you're not rounding. And then switching sides, so left hand over to the right knee this time. And then returning back to center. We're going to take our time moving into tabletop position and then stretching out that left leg behind you and the opposite right arm. Bringing everything up, engaging the core, and as you exhale, drawing it into center. Inhale to extend. Exhale, drawing it into center. Inhale to extend. See if you can engage that core and hold yourself up. And exhale, drawing it all in. Extend, this time bending the back knee up, taking hold of it with the right hand and pushing, kicking through that foot so that you create a nice spinal bend, back bend. Coming back down to your neutral spine before extending the other arm and leg. Extend, and as you exhale, drawing everything in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, draw everything in. This time bending up the right leg, taking hold with the left arm, pushing and kicking into that hand with the foot to create more of a back bend. Coming back to your neutral spine, we'll take a couple of rounds of cat and cow on your own breath, just to neutralize the spine after that back bend. And then pushing into your first downward facing dog, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, giving your upper body plenty of room, maybe bending into one leg, straightening the other here just for a few breaths. Opening up and getting into those hamstrings. It's a good way to wake them up, especially in the morning. Take a nice deep breath and lifting up that right leg, bending it open and bending into the hip here before drawing it in between your hands, dropping that back knee and coming up to your first low lunge. As you exhale, hands come down either side of the foot, push back to downward facing dog. Now with the opposite leg, the left leg comes up before bending to open that hip, drawing it into your chest, dropping the back knee down and coming up to your low crescent lunge here. Take a nice inhale, flow with the breath as you exhale, taking the hands back down either side of your feet, pushing back to your downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here and exhale. Lifting the right leg up again, bending in and opening that hip once more. Before drawing the knee up between the hands, we're going to come up to our standing high lunge this time. So up on both feet. Take an inhale, breathe in, and exhale, cartwheel down to downward facing dog. This time with the other leg, raising that left leg, bending open into the hip, drawing it up between your hands, coming up to that high lunge, really high on the back toes here and bending into that front knee, make sure it's over your ankle. As you exhale, cartwheeling down, we're going to come all the way lowered right down to your mat this time. As you inhale, pushing yourself up into your cobra pose. Doing this 3 times on your own breath, moving your body almost like a wave. And when you're ready, when you've done your 3, pushing back into a wide-legged child's pose just for a moment. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale, coming back to your downward facing dog. Lifting up the back right leg, drawing it in between the hands, coming up to your high lunge before instantly just moving into your warrior 2. So turning that back leg to face the back of the mat, flipping the front palm, breathing into your reverse warrior. Straightening the front leg and moving through almost like tick-tocking into your triangle pose, reaching that top arm up and feeling that nice stretch in the side body. Take a nice deep breath here before cartwheeling yourself down to your plank pose, lowering all the way down or chaturanga into cobra or upward facing dog, and then pushing yourself back into downward facing dog. Moving the same right leg, drawing it up and then in between the hands, we're going to move into our half moon. So that right arm is there for you to balance on, left arm on the hip, and left leg comes up parallel to your mat. See if you can come up to standing and draw the knee up with you and come right into your tree pose, tucking that left foot into the inner thigh. Maybe taking the hands to heart center here, foundational tree pose. Breathing here, finding a focus point so that you can keep your balance, and then gracefully letting go. Inhale, reaching your hands up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift, and exhale, really get into that forward fold. Stepping back to your plank pose, coming down, and then upward facing dog or cobra, and then pushing back to your downward facing dog. raising that left leg up as soon as you get there, bringing it up between the hands, up to your standing high lunge. Straight away moving into your warrior two, flipping that front palm, take it back, reverse warrior. Cartwheeling your hands all the way through Vinyasa, upward facing dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg again, bringing it up between the hands, this time into your half moon. So taking that left hand forward, right hand on the hip, right leg is parallel with your mat. Seeing if you can come all the way through. It's okay if you stop halfway like I did. Bringing your foot to your inner thigh or your inner calf for tree pose, a very foundational yoga pose, building strength and balance here. Slowly coming down, taking a big breath and moving into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold down. And from your forward fold, just moving to a comfortable seat on your heels. Coming down, we're going to be moving into camel pose. So coming up on the knees, hands on your hips. Taking a nice breath to extend up. And then as you exhale, leaning back, keeping those hands on the hips for support if you need. And if it feels good, maybe taking the hands down to grab the ankles, really pushing through the hips and the chest here. Slowly making your way back up, coming down to sit and just closing your eyes, placing your hands in your lap for a moment. It can be quite an intense pose. Taking a breath here. And when you're ready, coming back up for round two, hands on the hips. Inhale to extend and then exhale, slowly coming back to whatever level you're currently working with in your body. Remembering to breathe through this. Keep pushing through the hips and through the heart. And then when you're ready, coming back down to that seat on your knees, putting your hands in your lap for a moment and just breathing here. Slowly making your way to now a wide-legged stance on your mat. Take an inhale in, reaching those arms up, and as you exhale, folding forward into your wide-legged forward fold. This stretch is really good for your inner thighs, the inner groin, just that entire area. Remembering to breathe through this, it's only temporary. When you're ready, slowly walking yourself back up, taking a nice breath. We're going to bring the right foot into the left inner thigh. Take an inhale to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, folding forward over that right leg. Breathing here. Bringing the left arm back and coming into a little wild thing, just to move out of this with a little bit of a heart opener. Coming back to your seat, we're going to move into the other leg now. So right foot comes into the left inner thigh, inhale to extend your spine and exhale as you fold down over that leg. Take a nice inhale into the belly and exhale. Release, coming out of this, doing your wild thing on that side. Feeling that nice side body stretch. And then when you're ready, slowly making your way now to laying down. Keeping your soles together here so that your knees are out wide. We're in a reclined butterfly just for a moment. Now drawing the knees together and into the chest, giving them a little hug and taking them both over to your left side, maybe taking your gaze over to the right for a quick spinal twist. Drawing the knees back to center and taking them over to the other side here. Remembering to breathe. And lastly, sending your legs and arms out to wherever feels comfortable, coming into your Shavasana here. Breathing, taking your time, giving yourself permission to relax. Please feel free to spend as much time as you would like in your Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. Namaste.